Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of the Moaning Show. My name is HED01 and in this edition, if you haven't worked it out by now, I would like very much to talk about Doctor Who. Now, I remember very little about the original series of Doctor Who that started in 1963 and more or less ended in 1991, 92, something like that, when the TARDIS was under the control of 7th Doctor Sylvester McCoy. I remember the title screen with a funny sounding bit of music and a purple vortex. Now, as you can see from the Dalek behind me, I am a fan of Doctor Who. Until series 12, when the TARDIS was now being controlled and currently is being controlled by Jodie Whittaker, the first female Doctor. Now, I want to make a start on the video by basically saying that I have no problems with Jodie Whittaker being the Time Lord or Time Lady. I have no problems with a female Doctor. What I have a problem with is the way the series has gone. Doctor Who is a science fiction program about a ongoing journey of an individual in a time-travelling box, the TARDIS, okay, which is basically an old 1940s to 1960s police box that has what's called a problem with changing shape, known as the chameleon circuits. They're all fried and apparently it's stuck in that sort of configuration if you follow the show. Now, science fiction at its heart is about science. You know, it's about meeting aliens, it's about travelling through time, specifically Doctor Who. It's specifically about an individual going backwards and forwards in time, looking to save a situation from a perilous enemy or a, you know, enemy of the week type thing. The Dalek up there is the main enemy of Doctor Who, or the Doctor as the main character is called. They fought a great war over the right to exist, you know, paraphrasing, you know, dictators and all that sort of shit. Now, again, I don't have any problem with a female Doctor. I think it's a great idea. However, the show as it stands, as of season 12, it's in fucking trouble. The show is meant to be about meeting aliens, going to far off planets and, you know, getting out of perilous situations that they find themselves in, the Doctor and his/her assistants. What's wrong with Doctor Who these days is that it's lost its myth, it's lost its excitement in a way, it's lost its childhood fascinations, because Doctor Who now is a and let me just go on record and say I've got no problem with diversity. Again, you have to mix races and colours and creeds and all that sort of shit. The problem I have is that the Doctor's now going to places where she's surrounded by a diverse group of assistants, an old white man, a young man of colour and a young Indian woman. Not a problem. Problem is that we've gone to India, we've gone to, you know, we've gone and met Rosa Parks. Now, Rosa Parks is a tremendous figure in people of colour's history. I can't even say black anymore. That's how offensive that term is. But you know what I'm getting at. In the 50s in America, 60s in America, and she refused to stand up and let a white person sit in her seat on the bus. Fair enough, activist in that sort of term. You know, very much what Martin Luther King Jr. was fighting for. I haven't got a problem with that. I've not got a problem with, you know, a documentary about Rosa Parks, you know, explaining what she did. The thing I've got a problem with is the fact that now the BBC, who make Doctor Who, now feel it's right to shove all of this sexism, you know, they shove this racism down our throats. It's a children's television program about a time traveller who should be getting in the mix with aliens and saving the Earth from total destruction, which is what it was when it came back in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston, handing the keys over to David Tennant, who is widely regarded as the best Doctor of the modern era. Next we had Matt Smith, who then changed into Peter Capaldi, who's now Jodie Whittaker. Not a problem. It's about basically a zany character who's saving the world on the go, thinking about how to do different things. And the problem I have now, it's just a show about how racist some people can be, how sexist some people can be, and it's making me not want to watch it, and that's wrong. Doctor Who should be a wonder show, you know, a show full of, like I say, a show full of wonder that makes you think, oh, what's going to happen next? It used to be a scary show, now it's just a drama, you know, about boring, mundane things. And Doctor Who should be exciting. It should grip you on the edge of your seat. It should be something that you want to watch, rather than something that you think, no, I don't want to watch that anymore. You know, and here's another couple of things. The Dalek behind me is the main enemy of Doctor Who. In the main season, you didn't see one. In the New Year's Day episode, and that's another thing that's wrong as well, you saw one. Doctor Who always had a Christmas special from when it came back to a couple of years ago, because they wanted to change things up. I've got no problem with changing things up. The worst problem is that now that it hasn't had a Christmas Day episode, I do believe it's lost the rights, or not lost the rights, lost the ability to show an episode on Christmas Day. It was something I looked forward to, the Doctor Who Christmas special. Alright, it was a bit weird now and again, but that's the Doctor at Christmas. You could travel backwards and forwards in time, like to the miracle football match in the War of 1914. You know, First World War football match between the Germans and the Allies. It was an amazing piece of human history as well, you know. And then we're going to see the Indian girl's grandmother getting married, you know, and it's yeah, all right, fair enough, but at the same time, this is a kids show and it needs to reflect that. The main character should be, like I say, it should be zany, it should be almost insane, so to speak. But now it's just a boring, unexciting, just... I'm trying not to sound like a jerk in terms of hitting on the diversity thing, but they're catering to all aspects, you know, and there's going to be the time, if it hasn't happened already, I've only seen about half the series, there's going to be the time when the Doctor's thrown in a jail for being a woman, and they think A, she's a witch, or B, the time period she goes to has no like votes for women or freedom for women's rights or whatever, and it's going to all be about that. It's all going to be about the woman who campaigns for X and Y, and it's just not, that's not Doctor Who. It's not fucking Doctor Who, I'm sorry. She should be out in space, battling Daleks, battling Cybermen, you know, and just barely escaping with her life, you know, and the life of her companions. I've got no issues with the diversity. I'm trying not to sound like a douchebag, but it's difficult when a show you've enjoyed watching since 2005 has all of a sudden just gone into a shell and just basically saying, am I allowed to do this now? Alright then, I won't do it. You know, fuck the BBC and what they've done to Doctor Who. Again, I hope it comes back, and I hope we're out in the stars, different planets, meeting new aliens, meeting new monsters that, alright, don't scare everyone like they did back in the day, like with the Daleks and shit, but just a bit more Doctor Who, you know, a bit more sci-fi. Go to the bit where mankind goes out into space for the first time to meet its aliens, a little bit like Star Trek. Borrow things from Star Trek, Star Wars, like Babylon 5, and any other sci-fi show / movie that's come out in the last 10-15 years or so, and just show us what it's like to be Doctor Who again. Not just a show about a woman who takes her companions to go see racial or sexual events from the 20th century. That's fucking boring. Not to mention, you know, not full of action or whatever. Doctor Who, what's the main thing they do in Doctor Who? Fucking running. I could be an assistant at the moment. You know, at time of filming, I'm walking around with a fucking walking stick very slowly. You know, even I could be an assistant at this rate. There's hardly any fucking running. Bring back the old monsters. Bring back the Daleks, the Cybermen and the like. You know, bring back another Doctor to make things a little bit more unusual. The best thing about this new Doctor at the moment is the fact she's a woman. But the second best thing about it is the fact that she's got a custard cream maker in her fucking TARDIS. Fantastic. Great. It's the best thing about it at the moment. Anyway, I can't rant on for much longer about Doctor Who. They've just got to fix it. They've got to make it more exciting, more appealing to the kid in you, or the kid in me, and just go to events, make the Doctor have to participate in a science fiction race or something like that to save her companions, and she has to, like, not at a party at fucking Louis XVI's house, and she has to fucking, like, get past the sexism to save her friends. That's a load of shit. Don't fuck with it anymore. Maybe even bring back Russell T Davies for a couple of episodes to steer the course back. Alright, Stephen Moffat, who was showrunner for years when Matt Smith took over, was a bit weird, and the stories, like, got very strange now and again. At least they were strange. They might not have been all that Doctor Who, but you've got to, alright, yeah, you've got to take the rough with the smooth, but this is an entertainment programme aimed at kids, like, aged between 5 and 12, you know. Not a fucking soap opera about a woman who can't decide whether or not to interact with interesting things or not. And that's not Jodie's fault. That's the fault of the writing team. What the writing team has been allowed to do, because apparently there have been rumours that the BBC said you have to be more diverse, you have to show kids history and teach them history. Fuck history. That's what history class at school is for. That's what documentaries are for. Blah 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 was a bad person. Blah 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 was this. Blah 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 was that. Fuck off. I want to see the Doctor go up against Genghis Khan or Adolf Hitler, which we have seen, of course, or fucking Alexander the Great. You know, wasn't a warrior until the Doctor whispered in his ear and just said, "You could do this," or shit like that. You know, it's like stories they haven't finished up yet. So like Queen Elizabeth I in that Shakespeare episode with Doctor and Martha, David Tennant's third season. It's like saying, "You are my enemy." It's like, we haven't seen the beginnings of that. Torchwood. You know, that hasn't been on for 5-6 years. Bring it back. Let's see what Captain Jack and Eve are up to. You know, let's see what happens. But like I say, you can't moan about the same thing for 15-20 minutes, and I basically have. So I thank you for watching this edition of the Moaning Show. More normal moaning back in a future episode. But for the time being, thanks a lot, and let's hope Doctor Who gets back to normal. See you then.